What's up, everybody? Do you guys remember me? Because I'm the dude that showed you some of the craziest in-game tech demos, from fluid simulation to voxel destruction physics and everything in between. And today, I have got something for you that I think is going to absolutely blow your mind. Welcome to Fluid Flux for Unreal Engine 5. Now, I'm going to start this demo off showing you things that probably aren't going to be that impressive to you, but trust me when I say things are going to get more and more impressive the longer you watch. Now, this is a fluid simulation that does a lot of things that I have not seen previous fluid simulations do. And one of the things that it does very, very well is it's incredibly performant. It does stuff that the only other fluid simulations that I've seen be able to pull this off take hours of rendering time, but it can do it in real time. So I'm going to turn off slow motion here, and you are going to watch this water cascade naturally down all of these rocks. And there's lots of tiny little effects, like you can see the splashing on the rocks, and most importantly, all of this fluid is also physics-based. So you can see all of these debris rolling around in the water because the water is in fact pushing all of these objects. Now, the coolest thing about this water is not just an effect. All of this water is volumetric. All of this water will actually flow through whatever environment it is placed in. And as time goes on, not only are you going to witness more and more the kinds of fidelity that this water has, but one of the things that this system can do is it can do this at a scale that I've never seen before. So, first off, as you can see, previously this entire basin, this entire area was dry, and all the water came down, and it is now filled up this entire basin with water. And guess what? You can even swim in this water now. So this water has completely filled up this basin to a point where you can actually swim around in it and interact with it. Now that it has filled up this basin, it is now pouring down into this new basin and even interacting with other physics objects like this turbine that will actually be powered by the flow of water. Now, this water doesn't just push around objects. This water will actually make things float like an entire boat. So here is a river stream, and as you can see up there, this entire time that I've been talking, the water has been slowly rushing down this entire valley, turning it into a river. And just some tiny little details that I think are really cool. You can actually see the whitewater will form where there are little tiny waterfalls. So you can see over here, the water is calm because there's not that much motion, but where there is more motion, whitewater will naturally form, creating this incredibly realistic effect. Now, as the water continues moving down the river, you'll actually see that this boat will start to float and will move down with it. Look at that. We can even jump on top of the boat if we want to, if it stands still. Oh, well, now it's stuck on the rocks, so that's not going to matter, but we can actually move the boat ourselves. There we go. And now we are on a floating boat. And as you can see, the water is going to continue flowing all the way down this ravine. If there is a cavern, it will actually flow into that cavern and realistically fill up that cavern and even leave air pockets where air pockets would actually be in a natural cavern. And as you can see in the back, the white water has cleared as things start to calm, and new white water has formed in areas where the waterfalls are forming, where the water is flowing. Look at this. This is absolutely incredible. And you can see the boat continuing to move down. Look as it creeps up the beach. And here in a second, we're going to have a completely natural beach that is going to be formed by this water. As I walk around in it, you can even see, like, my footprints will create ripples in the water. This is incredibly advanced fluid simulation that is also running at 60 FPS in real time in Unreal Engine 5. But what if I told you this isn't even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what this system can do. Now, I have shown you a very small demo of a small river and a couple of basins. But what if I told you one of the main features of this fluid simulation system is the fact that it can do this at a gigantic scale? So let's do that now. So as you can see, this is a much bigger area, a much larger simulation. And as you can see, this is a lot more water. Now, all of this water has all of the same properties. This is still the exact same fluid simulation that is going to have all of the same very tiny details that that previous simulation that you just saw had. And I really want you to focus on that, because I think sometimes when you see large bodies of water, you're like, well, the entire system must be dumbed down, right? They're not going to be able to have that many tiny details, but they do. And I have been sitting here playing with the system for hours, trying to figure out, how does he have this much detail with these huge amounts of water? It's ridiculous. So here we go. All of this water is now cascading through all of these rocks, and we're going to jump on top of this boat. Maybe we will be able to save ourselves. Oh, get on top of the boat. Get on top of the boat. Get on top of the boat. Here we go. All right. The boat is now going to float, and it's going to float over a cliff. This is incredible. As we cascade down a full freaking waterfall. Look at that. Even the sound effects. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Even the waterfall sound effects are dynamic. All of the water sounds will actually occur where they're supposed to occur. Like, as you can see, if I go over here to this tiny little area where there's these rocks, it will create these bubbly sounds. But as I move away from that, you'll start to slowly notice that the water starts to sound more calm and less turbulent. Isn't that absolutely incredible? Now, like I said, one of the craziest things about this simulation is that even with this huge amount of water, the actual fluid dynamics are still simulated, even down to the smallest details. So let's take a look over here. And this absolutely blew my mind. As you can see, there are these tiny little areas where the water is rushing through, right? But just like a real stream, the momentum of the water will actually be different in different places, because this simulates currents. So as you can see, there's a very strong current here. But if you look behind this rock, do you see behind, well, the ripples that I'm creating are actually affecting this. As you can see behind this rock, there is a calm area of water that is less affected by the current, which is a crazy detail that is also completely emergent. This is not animated. This is not a pre-rendered level. This is a dynamic fluid simulation that is actually creating these natural systems that normally you only see in real life. Is that not incredible? If you thought we were done, trust me, we are far from being done. But before I show you even the bigger, crazier stuff, I want to show you something smaller so you understand when I show you the next amazing thing that I'm going to show you, you know that it's real. You'll know that it's not just some shader or some animation. It's a real fluid simulation at scales I don't think you've ever witnessed before. And to kind of drive that point home, I want to show you this. This is a small-scale simulation of this system at work. And if you want to actually see it work in real time, I will reset this entire thing. This is a wave simulator. Have you ever gone to one of these at like a theme park and they have like a hurricane simulation and then there's a giant wave and everybody's in that pool and it creates waves over and over again until the time limit is over? This is how that works. And you'll actually see in those theme parks they have something exactly like this at the end that generates waves. This fluid simulation is so accurate and so realistic that you can actually use those exact same systems in order to generate waves in the fluid mass. And you'll see I can even pause this. If we want to go in here and look at this in action, here is the actual wave frozen. And at any point in time, I can either slow down or I can completely pause the fluid simulation and still swim around in it. Look at this. Is that not the craziest thing you've ever seen? Now, the reason I wanted to show you this is because I now want to show you this. This is the exact same simulation at a whole new scale. This is no longer a river or even a giant waterfall. This is a literal ocean. And you'll notice all of the physics simulations are the same. I can still pause it. So here is the fluid simulation paused. And you can see all of these waves are now frozen, but as soon as I unpause it, is that not crazy? This is the most accurate and performant, I mean, running in real time. This is a real-time dynamic fluid simulation running in a game at 60 FPS at 4K. I'm also at 4K, running on not the newest technology, on my computer that's built for games. This computer isn't like some crazy video simulation rendering machine. This is a gaming PC running this. And if you want to try this for yourself, you can download this demo for free and try it out in Unreal Engine 5. Now, I will say, the technical demo that you can download and play, that is free. The fluid simulation itself is, I believe, currently $350, which is a lot, but, I mean, let's be real. I feel like this guy deserves this. And let me tell you, we're still not done. Because this is just a beach, right? And hey, look, there's even a little boat here. The same exact boat. And we can even jump in this boat. Well, you know, we can jump in the boat if I do a good job of actually jumping into the boat. Here we go. Come here, boat. Boom. We can jump in this boat, and we can sail around if we wanted to. Imagine if this was used for the next Subnautica game. How cool would that be? We can even go underwater. Look, there's even fish. I mean, not that fish are that impressive, but, I mean, keep in mind, these are fish inside of a completely... Is that a body? I'm just going to ignore that real quick. I don't know why there's a mannequin body just floating around, but, you know, hey, whatever. But the coolest thing about this is fish and bodies and physics objects in a fully dynamic fluid simulation. I mean, doing buoyancy simulation is hard enough when you have, like, a fixed plane of water. But having water that actually dynamically fills up areas and then having the fluid simulation and that, I never would have thought that that would be possible at a scale like this. Or even, and here's the big one, a scale like this. Now we are straight up in the middle of the ocean. This is an ocean on this tiny little demo oil rig. And you can still, look, you can still change the color of the water if you want. Look at that. Wow. That is very pretty. So you can be at any part of the ocean around the world, whether you're in the Black Sea or the Pacific, you can kind of change the color of the water. But here's what's crazy, right? I've shown you all of the fluid simulation of this. Right? How much water do you think you could even have in a single level? Well, I'm about to show you because we're about to go underwater. So here we are, underwater. Look at this. I mean, even combining this with Lumen as well, where, like, look at the effects that Lumen has. And you can still change the water. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at those caustics. I believe it's called caustics. Caustics, right? I didn't even know that I knew that word. Just pulled that out of thin air somehow. But look over here. So we're at 10 meters, right? How many square meters of water do you think are even in this level? 25 meters? 50 meters? Dude. A 100 meters? Look at this. We're still underwater. Let's change the look again. There's the surface. This demo currently has 200 plus meters, because you can still go under this. That's the craziest thing. Here is the bottom of the oil rig. And you could still go deeper. But at the bare minimum, you have over 200 meters of water depth with this fluid sim. You could literally have a submarine simulator with this. That's crazy. That's crazy. To have a system like this that supports this magnitude of water is almost unbelievable. In Unreal Engine 5 with Lumen, that is absolutely insane. Now, to wrap this video up, I want to tell you guys to definitely go and follow this guy on Twitter. And, of course, if you want to download this demo for free and play around, link is down in the description. But the creator of this system is working on the next version of it, and the next version of it is even more incredible. I mean, not only does it look better, but it is also going to continue expanding upon the features and functionality of what you can do with it. I mean, look at this glass tunnel that you've created. I mean, what other system could you do this with? You wouldn't be able to do stuff, at least not as easily, like this with just an animated water plane, right? It would cut right through this glass. But since it's volumetric, you can do stuff like putting a glass tunnel through the water, breaking through the surface of the waves, and it will actually simulate that environment realistically. That is incredible. So the kinds of doors that this system is opening from a level design, from a thematic, from a storyline standpoint is absolutely incredible. I mean, you can even see like the little bits of water. I mean, I don't know how much of that is just a texture, but if you go back, you can actually see, you can see right here where the water is actually like sloshing up and down. It leaves little droplets of water. Look at that. Do you see those little droplets of water along the edge? Like, that's crazy. I don't know if that's just him texturing the side of the glass tube, but I'll tell you one thing, you don't see that in areas where it's completely submerged. And that kind of detail, especially for a fluid simulation system like this, is mind-boggling. So I highly recommend, definitely go check this out. This creator is working on some pretty incredible things. His fluid simulation is one of the most, no, not one of the most. It is the best, most performant, and honestly the best looking fluid simulation I have seen so far. It is expensive, but if you're a developer and you want to make a game with really, really good water physics, I mean, $350 for all of this is quite frankly a freaking steal. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. The water coming down off the side of the glass. That's ridiculous. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more stuff like this, definitely stick around. I have got lots of other things that I am wanting to show all of you guys. This is only one of them. There's even more incredible things on the horizon. And besides that, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and if you want to go and download my own game on Steam, I'll have links down in the description for that as well. We're about to hit 4 million downloads. Operation Harsh Doorstop, our game, is about to hit 4 million downloads. Think about that. That's crazy. We are at 3.7 right now. So 300,000 away from 4 million downloads on Steam. Absolutely incredible. If you guys want to help out with that, go do it. And I'll see you guys again soon. Cheers.